I think we can all agree that some disc golfers suck. Don't get me wrong, I have love in my heart for every frisbee throwing freak, but some of you flat out piss me off. And there's no way to sugarcoat it, nor would I ever think about doing something stupid like that. From all you loud music mashers to the ones still trying to peddle me that gyro shit. Stop, it's not happening. But the absolute worst type is the people out there stealing discs. Now I know we're all on the same page about that at least, in the broad sense of fuck thieves, am I right? They're even worse than the losers still chucking Lone Star. How about we get a bit more specific though, because what exactly am I talking about? Well, don't worry, I'm about to explain, so strap in for this bumpy ride. I promise, it all comes together in the end. Let's get the obvious cases of thievery out of the way. For example, this scumbag who stole all the discs from the community lost and found straight from the lovely volunteer's porch. Still on the search for this dumbass. I can guarantee we're looking for someone who isn't flipping over Mambas, probably putts with judges too, and you know they got a glitch in there somewhere. Quickest way to know you suck at life. But the stealing can get much more complicated than that. What about those times when you find a lost disc on the course and it ends up in your bag? Some might consider that stealing. However, I think it varies. Stay with me here, because yes, if the disc has a number on it, I would say you're obligated to at least send a message. No way am I calling a stranger, and odds are they ain't picking up, so a simple text will suffice if you ask me. That person may not respond, which then I would say is fair game to take home. Unless there is a lost and found on the property, then unfortunately, being a good person would mean you place the disc in there. Sorry, but it's the price you pay for free disc golf. That situation is debatable, but since this is being recorded and being put on the internet, that's going to be my opinion. Can I also say that the second worst type of disc golfers are the people that don't help you look for a disc when it's lost in the woods? Swiss isn't watching this, so I'm throwing him right under the bus because holy fuck is he the worst. Dude be staring me down like a deer in headlights, like he's never been off the fairway in his life, which is wild because you know who's grabbing all his discs when they're lost? You fucking guessed it. Oh man, there was this one day early on in my career, so I was probably throwing like 400-foot drives straight into the woods, but still had these two brand new destroyers that I loved, so no shit I'm ripping them. The bad part was searching after the drives, and on about hole 9, Swiss and my brother who never plays with us were well beyond tired of looking for my lost plastic, but 19-year-old me was not giving up, so 10 minutes passed, 20, 30. After what felt like forever, I finally had enough. But the entire car ride home, they had to hear me bitch worse than your friend when he hits first available. Rant over. Back to the original rant. Now, if the lost disc has no phone number and just a name, that's a complete different story. How is someone reasonably supposed to get the disc back to the rightful owner, especially for people like Ken, who still hasn't used the internet? He started playing disc golf 3 years ago and was hooked from the first throw. Funny thing is, every disc from his bag has been either found on the course or was gifted from someone he met. It's actually pretty hilarious when I see someone I know's name on one of his discs, but hey, that's just how it goes out here. I ain't no snitch. What Ken is doing, I wouldn't call stealing. He genuinely doesn't have a way to get into contact with people, and let's be real, the next person to find it, probably not doing the right thing either. Might as well add them to his small collection of discs. At least then we know they're actually going to be used. One day, I really hope he lets me roast his bag. Then again, I can never be mean to this guy. I've never seen someone so genuinely happy to play the same course every day for about 3 rounds. My day instantly gets better when I see his minivan in the parking lot. First thing as always, he'll go on about how I need to try the flip up on hole 16 at Silver Lake like he does every time I run into him. Can't talk shit though, because I've never tried it. Maybe one day. However, I will talk shit about the assholes he first started playing with that told him putting with the harp was a good decision. That's a dickhead move that feels too intentional. Thankfully, I set him straight. Unfortunately, he chose the pure to putt with. Yep, we lost a good one, folks. The other day before leagues, I ran into Ken, so of course I was left with no other option than to get some practice reps in with my boy. He's been telling me about some wicked par saves he's gotten recently, and even a couple of new tricks he's been trying out to stop the pain in his back, and of course, without a doubt, the pile of new discs he's found. To be fair, I'm making it sound like he's out searching for discs like people bagging Bergs look for friends. He's not. He just happens to stumble upon abandoned lies, and from what I've seen online, if you leave your disc, you're giving up your rights of ownership. Now, I don't subscribe to that type of behavior. Although you should probably subscribe to the channel right about now. Rather, I find the relationships between my frisbees and me are in more of a mutual situation, not whatever 1800s bullshit you guys believe. I absolutely love playing with Ken because when I get to throw discs far, it always amazes him. And it brings out one of my all-time favorite catchphrases.
Beautiful. Yeah, doggy.
When I hear the ooh doggy come out, I know I did something right. After a smash of a drive, he had to peek to see what I was throwing, and he was more than excited to see it was the destroyer. He also happens to be a really big fan of destroyers. Shocking, someone that shouldn't be throwing a destroyer bagging one. Who would have thought? I mean, it is the go-to disc for the elderly and their Bruce Lee karate chop forehands. I could go and explain to Ken why he should focus on discs that match his arm speed and blah blah blah. No one likes the coach on the card that tries to teach every little detail when they go around throwing 250-foot so-called bombs. They might even be worse than the rules police dudes, making me walk out every putt and not letting anyone snap even the littlest of twigs. It's fucking leagues. This shit ain't rated. When looking at my disc, Ken said he bags a couple of destroyers, but never seen a star one, which wasn't true because on the very next hole, he literally pulled out a star destroyer. Now, I don't blame him since it was a run that didn't specifically say star on the stamp, so for a guy who doesn't even know who the president is, hard for me to joke about. For all you destroyer experts out there, it was the first run of Ricky Wysocki destroyers when he joined up with Innova. In my opinion, the best run of destroyers ever made. So if anyone out there wants to hook your boy up, you know how to find me. Ken then went on to explain how a group of people told him that disc was worth over $100, and that's just simply not true. I can buy one right now on eBay for 20 bucks, which I might also do. Launching a mighty flex up the hill, it landed in the brush, and since I'm generations younger than my bucket hat wearing friend, I raced up the hill to find that disc. This being my favorite run of destroyers, obviously I had to check it out. And as I walked closer to the green disc, I started to think back to that day Swiss and my brother didn't help look for my destroyer in the overgrown woods because the color looked too similar to the rough. Just how Ken's disc looked oddly familiar to that disc I lost. But that would be crazy. It couldn't be. There's no possible way. That was over 5 years ago. But when I picked it up, right on the bottom, boom, written on the rim, JK Disc Golf, which was the name of my old YouTube channel and the exact thing I used to put on all my discs I bagged. I was in disbelief and honestly didn't know how to react because I wanted it back so bad, but wasn't sure if that was even appropriate. I mean, it had my name on it, but it's been so long. Is there a statute of limitations on lost discs? Plenty of other questions ran through my mind, but before a word came out, I had already handed the disc over to Ken and on to the next hole we went. Am I an asshole for wanting the disc back? But I do, like really badly. I gotta put myself in his shoes. Some ugly ass dude says he lost some disc 6 years ago that happens to have become a staple in my bag that also is apparently worth a good chunk of change. Would I willingly give it up? Definitely made me think harder than bagging an envy. And that's not because it was faster than a typical wank sesh, which is slang for jerking the peen from our friends over the pond. Please drop in the comments what you would do if you were in Ken's shoes. Am I getting the disc back, or are you milking me for all the discs you can? No matter which option you choose, it's a controversial opinion. Don't believe me? Look at all these comments. However, I did read each and every one because I'm truly trying to find an answer here. And if I can get my damn disc back, I'm gonna do it. Next time I see Ken, I'm gonna have a proper trade. I'm actually gonna have a box filled with discs and tell him to take as many as he wants until he gives me my prized possession. Now, if he doesn't accept that, then I'll have some choice words I exclusively use when I come across someone bagging only dynamic. I'll update you guys on what happens. Hopefully I can rescue her. If not, I'll be extremely sad, and the only way to cheer me up is some awesome human out there hooking your boy up with some sweet plastic. Okay, enough begging. Unless you want more for a first run Ricky Wysocki destroyer, because then I'll do it. Ah, fuck, man. I feel like someone bagging a glitch right now. Hella embarrassing. So yeah, thieves are the worst disc golfers, and we can all agree on that. If you want more rants on a variety of disc golf topics, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Summer leagues are back, so Berdogi is back with it. I got a lot of ideas in store, so get ready for more content and plenty of disc shaming.
That forehand thing.
That forehand?
And like it's 16.
Alright.
You know which disc was the best for that.
I think this one. This is one of them, possibly it.
Yeah, That's not bad, dude.